So we wait. I'm actually doing this video. This is take two. Take two. Because John's stupid fitness professional, and John can't count. Right. So anyway, because lost me track what I was going to talk about. So 2nd of May today. Realised that we've lost a third of the year already. So a third of 2017 is gone. Now time's a funny thing, because you probably remember sitting there what seemed like, no time at all ago, thinking about winter and when spring coming and New Year and all this sort of stuff, and we've already had 4 months of the year gone. So that's a third gone of the year already. Now, what you tend to find is that statistically, about 85% of people that start New Year's resolutions are done within the first year, 85% roughly, and they reckon about 40 to 50% are done within the first month. Okay, so we had a lot of talk at the start of the year, the social media stuff, new year, new me, this is my year, watch me go, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do instead of tell you, and all this nonsense. Well, mostly nonsense. And then we had all this sort of stuff. And what tends to happen by about now is that people are just done. Yeah, they're not really focusing on anything anymore until they think, oh my God, summer's coming, especially in my world, summer's coming, I need to do something different. Chances are, what you've done for the first third of the year will probably be replicated in the next 2/3 of the year unless you change something. So unless you change the way you think, unless you change the way you learn, unless you change who you're around, unless you change the information that you expose yourself to. The second 2/3 of this year are probably going to be very similar to the first third of the year. And the other message, of course, is that a third is a long time. That's 4 months. Now, what have you achieved in that 4 months? What did you want to achieve in that 4 months? And if you haven't achieved what you wanted to achieve, why not? What haven't you done, and why didn't you do it? What was missing? Yeah, and you want to be able to look at this without emotion and without excuses or stories. We get a lot of stories. It didn't happen because of this. It didn't happen because of that. It didn't happen because of that. Really, you've got to be able to be honest with yourself and say, did I have any aspirations for things I wanted to achieve this year? Because if you've made no progress with those things, you are a third gone. Yeah, so you only have 2/3 left to achieve what you want to achieve if you had specific goals set for this year. Okay? A third is a long time. It's a long time. So that's really where you want to go. Just sit there and just go, right, okay, aspirationally, what did I want to achieve? What am I looking to achieve this year? Did I have any goals? Because remember, not everybody's got goals. Not everybody's got aspirations, and that's fine. But if you have, how far down the line are you with the progress? How much progress have you made in that time? Because that's a long time. So if you haven't made any progress in the first 4 months, you give it another 4 months, you're in August. Now, when we start to get to August, that's when people start to slowly mentally switch off for winter. I mean, people start talking about the dreaded C word, Christmas in September, remember? So if you give it another 4 months, that's 2/3 gone, and then people mostly mentally check out. So it's not the end of the world if you haven't done anything for the first 4 months, but you need to say, well, actually, that's a lot of time elapsed. I've still got another 2/3 left to achieve what I want to achieve. But you have to be honest and look at what you achieved in the first third of the year, yeah? And say, was I happy with that? If you weren't, it's fine, you can't do anything about that, but you can tweak and move forward. But if you didn't have aspirations and goals and directions and things you wanted to do in 2017, you've just lost a third of the year. So where you are now, if you don't change, will probably be where you'll end up at the end of the year. And that'll be another year gone of the limited amount of years that you have on this planet. Okay, so these times are always good to review. End of month 3, at the end of a quarter, review that. Now we want to say, right, we've had 4 months. Yeah? What have I done? What have I achieved? What do I want to achieve? Yeah? Because you can't achieve anything with the same mindset you've got now. You have to adjust. You have to learn new things. This is common sense, I know, for a lot of people, but no one looks at these timescales and goes, Christ, there's 4 months gone. What have I achieved? What have I done? Have I actually done anything? Did I set myself some goals that I've just left? Yeah, I've just got caught wasting my energy on other things. Yeah, really, really good review point. Yeah, to see where you are. And if you're not where you need to be, what needs to change? What tweaks do you need to make? And where do you need to go to learn the skills you need to be able to achieve your goals? In my world, weight loss, most people are panicking now because they've done nothing for 4 months. They panic in May because they've got holiday in 8-10 weeks' time. It's too late. You might get a result, but you're not going to get the kind of results you're looking for, primarily because you haven't given yourself enough time. So what I would suggest that you do is start now, see what results you do get and make sure you stick to it so you're never in this position again. I've said it before, I'll say it again. But if you've done nothing for 4 months, you can't expect in 6-8 weeks to then achieve some miraculous summer body or whatever in that time. It's not enough time, yeah? We can't do anything about that now, but you can learn the lesson. You have to look at it like that. A third of the year has gone. What have you achieved? What did you want to achieve? And if you haven't achieved what you wanted to, why not? And what are you going to do differently in the next third of the year to make sure that you don't mentally switch off at the end of summer and then you're back to square one come January, yeah? 2/3 left. You can make progress. If you sit down, see what you've done, review it, and then build on it and make the changes required. If not, you've got to be happy with where you are now. You'll be in the same place in December. Have a good day.